Hello YouTube, thank you for taking out your time today to spend with me. I am going to take this opportunity to make a video reply, though I do not expect that the contents of this video reply will actually make any difference to the individual who I am addressing it to. You will understand more as we continue. This video by no means is a comprehensive reply to the gatekeeper of what I identify as the reality scam on earth, that ministry. However, I had time available to address his most recent speech, what appears to have the makings of a broader line of violent denunciation. Now, he has stated in the past that my comments are the product of white education. Being the leader of the reality temple on earth, he suggests as a logically necessary consequence, like that of many cults, that his rhetoric reigns supreme. Funny thing is, within the same presentation, he will feign modesty and claim he can be wrong. Interesting how that works. This video is not constructed in hopes of persuading him to release his badge of victimhood or retire his incorrect reasoning. No, he's a politician through and through. Nothing is going to change his mind, and I would not want this to occur, and I would not embark on such a feat. This is me, as many have done when they had personality, visionary theorizations, or worldview standoffs, once again refuting his mental processes, etc. This is done because I see this impairment of mental health spreading. Of course, the one named Angel Snubnub 7, aka Taalik Ibn'rad, frequently states no one directly addresses his commentary but only provides attacks. Well, I have addressed in detail his video content and illustrated his methodologies. Yet, he continues the narrative of being the possessor of real truth, the authoritative person who correctly divines from what he calls the creation, the future. He did not claim my last statement, by the way, but I can easily provide proof using his video bites that this is his mentality. Don't you dig it when others claim, directly or indirectly, that while others speak truth, they somehow have the inside track to truth? Wow. Of course, he claims, like his imagined surrogate father, Elijah Muhammad, and Big Brother Minister Farrakhan, that there is no hope for Americans who are black to overcome negative stereotypes, and attempting to do so is merely a dance for the white man. My reply is, who cares what whites collectively may or may not think about blacks? The only reason why it would be relevant is due to their financial and legal power. Even so, it is never about selling yourself out or compromising away your integrity. A man will be wise to know his limitations, and when it is appropriate, to draw his line in the sand. However, interacting positively with Caucasian neighbors is a good thing. This is not about pertaining to their whims. This is partially about starving off conflict while being able to hopefully engage like minds and expand one's experience. How can this not be positive? No person can get along with everyone, no matter if they are of their so-called race or ethnicity. The same principle carries over with people of different cultures or phenotypical traits. It would be foolish to set this out as an agenda, to please all white people, that is, or to please the vast majority, or to project yourself as the good Negro. The sad thing is, a precursor for many before finally labeling you a sellout is the assumption and the mind projection fallacy that any American who is black that attempts to mingle with selected individuals from white society will become corrupted. It is normally desired that this individual should be alienated from whites and blacks alike because of this framework. In reality, this is only the projection of a consideration concerning how the world supposedly is. I have suspect the need for these theatrics of his is to capture the support of blacks that kind of stand on the fence or are indeed on an extreme side, ones that lack personal power, not to be confused with anything of a materialistic nature. So get that out of the way. A manufactured drama that he creates, which he hopes will guarantee attention. He achieves this by alluding that I and others, he lumps in with me, are in opposition to authentic black opinion and sensibilities. In a nutshell, he is pushing I am on a mission to relentlessly devalue fellow blacks. I expect nothing less from someone who has proven to have questionable morals and often is emotionally reflexive. When one is in the public eye, even the likes of YouTube, they will eventually receive their share of flack. Combating lies that revolve around an attempt of a character assassination becomes non-productive quickly. One should not expect a person who is not showing good judgment to concede their derisory maneuvers. Though I understand that in some cases it is a defense mechanism, it is something that surfaces so frequently that it deserves its own rebuke. This recycled nonsense will always be around. Its origins as an ethnocentric lashing instrument can easily be defeated, but it exists to create stigma. Normally, when refuted or addressed, the expected counter is one will state that there must be a kernel of truth present or you would not have responded. However, this weak reasoning is faulty from many directions. It does not take into consideration that one selects only to put out contrary content without concern of the supposed vital part of their opposition's claim. People who falsely resort to this action also count on nobody truly caring to discuss the purposeful mislabeling anymore. This, they hope, will be a form of proof by assertion. Of course, I do not find it appealing to address this for many reasons. The chief one being, it serves as a calculated attack to draw defenses away from the subject matter that is supposedly the proof of this individual being a sellout. When dealing with racial stigma, the lowest common denominator is the claim that supposedly one does not have the best interest of their group at heart and are willing to function in a manner that weakens, if only superficially, their group. In order to combat this stigma, if it is to exert influence, one must show the interested audience he or she has undivided loyalties. Of course, no man needs the validation of another. So, if you select to take this route, you may no longer be seen as a traitor, but you may be seen as having weak resolve and maybe of deficient courage. This produces a desired result, as only the angle of attack has changed, but the attack on one's character does not fail. The main objective in a public forum, when mislabeling, is to discourage others from taking part. And I use this next brief description loosely. Take part in the free market of ideas. We can speculate why this must be, but why? It should be stated, however, that if halting criticism is the goal, then we must ask if we are responsible people. Why he or she selected this path? This action functions as a pejorative or insulting language, all done with the hopes of influencing the recipient's judgment. Again, it does little or nothing to address the subject or subject's irritation as it relates to issues. The sad reality is when black people use these racial stigmas, not to be confused with a truth claim. They believe they are providing a warning of significance, no matter their agenda or motivation. Yet, they are truly reinforcing a terrible stereotype that surfaces as a control mechanism during slavery. They strengthen the idea that blacks who are descendants of slaves are by nature docile, dependent, prone to lying, servile, and fawning in attitude, due to the level of their shallow understanding and a mentally stagnant public. This goes unnoticed. However, since their false claims are not accurately assessing character flaws and they have not addressed the individual's arguments head on, they have illustrated that it is they who have not graduated to a higher form of thinking. They indirectly maintain the perpetual child myth. It is easy to see those who slither along this path as being permanently impaired by this engagement of duplicity. This, however, closes the door for the possibility of addressing the issues they are in opposition to or the stance that their opponent has on certain issues. This dynamic on social media occurs often because of drama, personal biases, immaturity, and the conflation of types of criticism and how one personally defines it in opposition to how it is generally received. When one identifies a problem and attempts to motivate an individual or group to think about the root or cause of the issue, this is not the same as mere negative analysis. Inviting others to find possible solutions to what is going wrong only provides opportunity for the situation to be expanded upon from the fruits of an individual's mentation. This is assuming, of course, that either it is independent of mind or the subjective path to reason is valid. Promoting acceptance of a problem and problem solving for the sake of self-improvement does not make a black person a Judas. If the information is properly used, it advances a person to the next level of personal achievement. Then there is the conflict of what was stated versus how it was stated. Delivery can affect how receptive another person is to the message. This does not change the reality that one is the master of how they apply themselves. Also, if the critique is detailed and factual, and the individual is seen as too assertive, this can create issues. Again, there is always the opportunity with a mature presenter to question their content. It is not the presenter's place to assist the receiver in not feeling overwhelmed and thereby resorting to defensive behavior. Thank you for your time. Enough is said. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. Be well.